Hi, Yorktown, and welcome to the latest episode of Chat with Matt. This program is about discussing the topics that are happening right here in the town of Yorktown. We're joined today with a special guest, Dr. Rod Stein of the Yorktown Pediatrics, and it's great to have you here, Dr. Stein.
Thanks, Matt.
We have a couple of things to discuss before we have a chat with Dr. Stein. We had our last town board meeting outdoors at the beautiful Mohegan Colony Association, located right here in Yorktown, in the north side of town, off of Lake Mohegan. That was, again, this past Tuesday. Our next town board meeting will be outdoors on August 3rd at the Mohansick Golf Course. At this past town board meeting, we discussed a number of important topics, beginning with Amazon Road. We heard from residents, again, who live on the north side of town, express concerns regarding the safety of Amazon Road, and Councilman Diana has referred that specific issue to our Traffic and Safety Committee for further review. We also approved a grant application, an additional grant application for the Halleck's Mill Sewer District. This is an important project that's been 20 years in the making, again, providing sewers to residents around Sparkle Lake, and we are getting closer and closer to making that a reality. This latest grant application is an application for state funds through the Water Quality Improvement Fund. We also approved $20,000 to redo the floors in our Senior Nutrition Center. So I know many of our seniors are anxious to get back to see Noreen and the entire staff over at the Senior Nutrition Center, but we have just a few more enhancements that we're looking to make, and redoing the floors is one of them. As a reminder to residents, we are still under a water conservation order by Northern Westchester Joint Waterworks. Again, what does that mean? It just means watering your lawn on odd and even days in correlation with your address. Also, happy to announce, with the help of our Climate Smart Communities Task Force, with the Yorktown 100, and of course our partners at T-Town, we launched our Food Waste Recycling Center. Our drop-off site is located at the Lower Downing Park parking lot. That's right at the tennis courts at the intersection of 202 and 132. Again, special thank you to Kevin Carter, Executive Director of T-Town. We actually have a great clip of the kickoff that again occurred on Monday, July 19th. Check it out real quick.
Good afternoon, Yorktown. It's Supervisor Matt Slater. We're down here at Downing Park, lower lot, right at the intersection of 132 and 202, right by the tennis courts. We are here very proudly to open officially our food scrap drop-off site, the first of its kind here in the town of Yorktown, a partnership with Westchester County that made this possible. And these are our brand new toters. Correct. I'm joined by a number of individuals that I just want to recognize and welcome, representing multiple organizations. Is that what we decided, Paul? Sure. The CSC Task Force, Yorktown 100. We've got Sarah Wilson and Paul Moskowitz, also Laura, who's here with the Yorktown 100 and MLID, which is great. We've got the Executive Director of T-Town, Kevin Carter, who's been a fantastic and big supporter and help of ours. Last week we were down in your neck of the woods, and this week you guys are up here. So
keep it coming.
Excellent, excellent. We also have with us our Parks and Rec Superintendent, Jim Moderano. We have with us our Parks and Rec Chair of our Parks and Rec Commission, Matt Talbert, and we also have our Director of Refuse and Recycling, Joe Marino. But composting is a very important tool that we wanted to introduce here in the town of Yorktown, and people keep asking me, why do I want to compost? And it really comes down to a few key points. It combats climate change, it reduces wastes, and it helps us grow healthier plants. It conserves water and it assists in storm water management. That's why it's so important for us to embrace composting, specifically when it comes to our food waste. Now, you may remember we had a logo competition that was done. We had 2 logos that were selected. You can see one here in front of our first toter, and then the second one is up here in the lid. If you want to turn that around. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Again, so these are over at the lower lot at Downing Park. You come over and drop off Your food waste, all the instructions are right here behind me. So things that can be accepted, we'll go through them. Your fruits and vegetables, your meat and poultry, fish and shellfish. You can include bones in that. Your dairy products, bread and pastas, rice and grains, your eggshells, your chips and snacks, nuts and seeds, any leftover or spoiled food. So if you're a parent like me and your kids only eat half the stuff on their plate, you can put the other half in your bin and bring it right here to help compost it. Your coffee grounds, tea bags, paper towels and napkins, cut flowers, and no plastic.
A lot of residents in Yorktown willing to participate. Like I said, right now we have 4 totes. There will be 6 if it's needed. I just ask that you fill them up.
I was referring to is YorktownNY.org. You go over to the refuse and recycling department, and all that information can be found there. Mr. Carter, do you want to say a few words from T-Town, who's been a huge partner in helping us educate our residents on this? Thank you very, very much.
Oh, thank you, Matt. So I just want to say, on behalf of my colleagues here from T-Town, how proud we are to be partnering with Matt and the town of Yorktown on this initiative. To me, it's a great example of think globally, act locally. T-Town, that's our mission, to inspire our community to lifelong environmental stewardship. We do it in a lot of ways. We welcome people to our preserve year-round. We've got 15 miles of trails. We got hundreds of kids coming to summer camp, which actually just got out of summer camp today. And then, working with municipalities and working on projects like this, because really, after all, it's these things that really do make a difference. So I just want to applaud the town, you guys, for stepping up and doing this. I think it's terrific, and we're really proud. We're really proud to help in any way that we can with the education, and we're really proud to work with you.
Kevin, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for also wearing a purple shirt like I did.
Yeah, no, we're coordinated. Yeah.
But T-Town's been a great partner, and it's going to take a big educational effort to help our residents understand exactly the importance of this project and also how to participate in this project. Part of that's going to go to our Climate Smart Communities Task Force and our Yorktown 100 group. So Sarah Wilson, if you want to come up and say a few words, that'd be great.
Thank you, Supervisor Slater. First of all, I'll call out Nadia Hall at T-Town. It's a wonderful resource. And Nadia has conducted a composting webinar for Yorktown 100 already, and that's recorded and available on our website, so check that out. And we'll certainly do more of that. Not everybody can compost at home. They don't have backyards. And even if you do compost at home, you can bring things here that you can't compost in your backyard bins. So this is not in competition with backyard composting. It's supplemental and really expanding the scope of what we can do. Just think how empty and light those kitchen garbage cans are going to be without all of that food waste in them. So this is just one more step that Yorktown is taking to become greener and more environmentally conscious. So we also applaud all the steps that Yorktown's taking. And on behalf of Yorktown 100 and the Climate Smart Communities Task Force.
Thank you, Sarah. This was something that Sarah and I talked about last year. Trying to get off the ground. It was an early project of ours, and with frankly the help of Westchester County, because they were a major player in this. We did sign an IMA with Westchester County, correct, Phil?
Yes.
And so this is a county-wide effort. Ossing's participating in it. The Mamaroneck, I believe, is. So is Scarsdale, who's always the regional model when it comes to composting. But this is a big step today, and we're happy to be able to accomplish this for our residents. Mr. Moderano, anything you want to add?
Absolutely.
It's in one of your parks?
Yeah. So it's an amazing initiative. Very happy to hear Matt give me a call and figuring out that we're going to do this, but how are we going to do it? A lot of times when we talk about execution, and we just saw that Downing Park would be the best place to execute this initiative. It's in the center of town. You can pull into this parking lot, loop around, and have your car right here ready to go and drop off without competing any traffic. So Downing Park just made the most sense for this initiative. So happy to be a partner. We all work as a team. We're working with R&R any chance we
get, and we're very excited to help compost and give you guys an opportunity to drop off your compost here in Yorktown.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. And with that, I just want to reemphasize again to our residents and to those who are going to come and utilize this service, please be respectful of our parks, be respectful of the bins. The last thing we want is to have anything happen here within the park that we find the waste not in the bins, and that's going to be something that we're going to continue to monitor closely. But this is a very important program again. If we're serious about combating climate change, if we're serious about improving our environment, it's going to take us all together to do the right things, and this is just another example of our here at our food waste facility in the town of Yorktown, of the town embracing those components and putting it forward so that our residents can execute that and do it together. So again, on behalf of the town of Yorktown and on behalf of the entire town board.
Again, that was on Monday, July 19th. Again, you can visit yorktownny.org, go to our refuse and recycling department's website, and you can find all the information about how to participate in this important program. Composting helps us combat climate change. It helps reduce waste and create a more resilient environment. And I know that Yorktown is going to embrace this fantastic program. Some good news from the JV Mall. Our friends up at the Valley, as they like to call themselves now, cut the ribbon for the outdoor patio for our friends over at the Peak School Brewery. They have opened an additional site. It's where you can order some great beers and great pizzas as part of their ongoing efforts to revitalize the Jefferson Valley Mall, and we anticipate the outdoor patio to be completed by the end of the summer. Very happy to share the good news regarding Hilltop Hanover. This historic farm right here in the town of Yorktown has been a recipient of a $100,000 state grant courtesy of State Senator Pete Harcum. Just 2 weeks ago, I was thrilled to join the Friends of Hilltop Hanover at a wonderful, wonderful dinner where the senator made the announcement, and this is going to be part of its ongoing capital improvement project as we continue to look for ways to revitalize Hilltop Hanover and integrate it as part of the Yorktown community. And if you're looking for things to do around Yorktown, make sure you check out Hilltop Hanover for all their great educational and recreational programming. Finally, as everyone knows, this September, it's hard to believe, we're going to be recognizing the 20th anniversary of the terrorist attacks on 9/11. The town of Yorktown is taking a number of steps to recognize this important milestone, beginning with the creation of a mural that's going to be enhancing the current 9/11 memorial up in Shrub Oak off of East Main Street, right next to the John C. Hart Memorial Library. But Councilwoman Alice Roker is heading up a very important living history project. And if anyone who is a first responder or anyone who is at the World Trade Center for the attacks on 9/11, we are trying to, again, create a living history program to capture your memories, your voices, and preserve them for the future. And again, Councilwoman Roker is looking for participants, people who are willing to speak about their experiences. We understand, obviously, this is a very emotional conversation for those who were down on the pile, either after the attacks or were there for the attacks themselves. But if anyone who is willing to speak to Councilwoman Roker and again, have their memory memorialized as part of this living history project, please contact our town clerk, Diana Quast, here at Town Hall, and we will set up a time for you to be interviewed by Councilwoman Roker. But I want to get back to our guest today, again, Dr. Rod Stein of Yorktown Pediatrics. One of the things that we continue to monitor very, very closely in our community is COVID. COVID-19 remains in the town of Yorktown. It remains present here within our community. We haven't completely defeated it just yet, and the numbers show that. We were down to as low as 2 active cases in the town of Yorktown just a week ago, and now we are up to, as of today, 25 active cases. We've had 8 new cases since the report we received from the Department of Health yesterday, and I'm really appreciate Dr. Stein taking time out of your very busy schedule.
It's my day off.
Well, I know how busy your schedule is, but the reason I asked Dr. Stein to join us is because Yorktown, as everyone knows, I hope you know, we've been very aggressive in organizing vaccine clinics free vaccine clinics for our residents and for our neighbors. We are hosting another vaccine clinic on Wednesday, July 28th. That's a week from today. That would be Wednesday, July 28th in the gym at the Albert A. Capellini and Community and Cultural Center. Same routine that we've done nearly a dozen times already, and I want to thank our friends over at Save More Pharmacy, again, the Cow family, longtime Yorktown residents who are owners of Save More Pharmacy for partnering with us and making this a reality. But we will be having the Pfizer vaccine available. We have 100 doses of Pfizer. It's a 2-shot vaccine. And I wanted to bring in Dr. Stein because Pfizer allows individuals aged 12 plus to actually receive the vaccine. This is going to be the first time that the town has been able to acquire the Pfizer vaccine, offering it to a younger population, again, being 12 plus. And again, Dr. Stein, knowing that you are a pediatrician here in town, I just wanted to speak with you and hope that we can help educate some of the residents about the vaccine. And so my first question for you, sir, is does the vaccine work?
Yes, the vaccine works. I think that is not even a controversy anymore. As much as possible controversy surrounds this vaccine, the question of whether it works or not, it works. 95% effective.
And in relation to some of the others, we talked about a flu vaccine. People get flu vaccines every year. On a good year, what is the flu vaccine effectiveness?
About 40%, 50% effective at preventing the flu.
And here we are talking about a vaccine that's that's proven to be 95% effective. What do you feel is the greatest impediment? Because we do know that there are people within the community and across the country who have not received the vaccine yet. So what do you feel, in your professional opinion, based on your conversations through your practice, is the greatest impediment for people at this point receiving the vaccine?
I think what patients ask me most is long-term side effects. I think that's what they're afraid of most, and that's understandable. But to date, there haven't, not that I'm aware of, there have not been any long-term side effects with regard to this vaccine. I am aware that there have been cases of myocarditis, which is a very, very rare complication of this vaccine. But you're much more likely to get, well, myocarditis is a inflammation of the muscle in the heart. You're much more likely to get a heart complication from COVID itself than from the vaccine.
And what about for the younger population? Again, for Pfizer 12 plus. So if you have a child who is in that age group, what are we seeing about potential long-term effects for them?
Nothing that I'm aware of. Again, there's the possible risk of myocarditis. It generally seems to be in older teenage boys after their second dose. But there have really only been about 1,000 cases out of the 340 million doses that have been given. The disease itself produces much more risk of cardiac injury. I think it's up to, in some studies, even up to 60% of people who have recovered from COVID have some evidence of cardiac injury based on blood tests or abnormal EKGs.
Right. So in your opinion, if you're a parent and you have children 12 and older, what would you recommend for them to do if the vaccine was made available to them?
Get the vaccine. Get the vaccine. It's not, I don't think it's even a controversy in the medical community. Get the vaccine.
And that's great to hear. And let me ask you this. I know that we've made great advancements in treating COVID. Incredible advancements since it first, March a year ago, really impacted our community and our country. Is COVID still life-threatening?
Yes.
And is the next question, though, is the vaccine life-threatening?
No.
And so that's for your reason why you encourage people to get the vaccine.
Yes. Yes.
And if I've heard from a lot of people, if people have questions about specific underlying conditions, what do you recommend or who do you recommend they speak to?
I would start with talking to your primary care physician. And patients will come to me with questions about COVID, questions that I might not be able to answer. And if it's a cardiac question, I'll reach out to my friends, the cardiologist, because I don't know everything. And if it's an infectious disease question, I have friends who are infectious disease doctors. I'll go up the line to people who know more about this than I do, and then I'll get back to the patients with their answers. And that's exactly what people should do.
Right, and if you're susceptible to allergies, you go to an allergist.
Exactly.
You go to the specialists who can provide you the guidance and the answers that you do need.
And I find that the doctor, at least the doctors I talk to, are very approachable about this. They know what they're talking about, and they're happy to give you the information, because everybody wants this thing to go away.
Right. We all want to make sure that the coming school year is a normal one.
Yes.
I know that our school districts are working incredibly hard to make sure that it's as normal as could be. But again, if we have the opportunity to provide these vaccines to a younger population, and forgive me, have you heard of, I know that they're doing research and studies on dropping that 12 even further down, potentially. Do you have any insight on that for us?
I don't right now. I think that's still in the works. And I do want to go back, if possible,
Yeah,
to you
please.
asked me, is the vaccine life-threatening? If you go online and look, you will find that there is data that will say that there have been such and such amounts of deaths after the COVID vaccine. And it is possible, but it has not been confirmed yet. So a lot of it has to do with the timing of the vaccine, and then something unfortunate happened to the person who got it. But the timing, as we say in medicine all the time, the timing does not prove causality. And until the CDC and other organizations work that out, well, we're working on it. They're working on it.
Right.
But those numbers are far lower than the numbers with COVID. Sorry, I didn't mean to digress.
No.
Sorry.
It's great information for our residents to know. I think it really is. And I know that you've already offered to help us out at the clinic on Wednesday.
Yeah, happy. It's my day off.
It's your day off. Well, we're putting you back to work. So again, residents of Yorktown, if you have not been vaccinated, Wednesday the 28th, beginning at 4 p.m., the link to sign up is right on our yorktownny.org website, right on the homepage. You can click right there. You can schedule yourself an appointment, and all you need to bring with you is your insurance card and your license, and our staff will process you through as quickly as we can. Again, it's a two-shot vaccination process, so you'd come back 28 days later and receive your second shot. It's a very simple process, and as you heard from our in-house physician and pediatrician, Dr. Rod Stein of Yorktown Pediatrics, highly recommended for anyone who hasn't received the vaccine just yet.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, Yorktown, we know that we've done a lot of work. We've known that we've done a lot of work to flatten the curve regarding COVID. We know that we want a normal summer, which for the most part we are having and we're thankful for, but we also know that we want a normal school year. And the vaccine is an important and critical component to that equation for us to achieve it. So again, Wednesday, July 28th, if you have any questions, please call us here at Town Hall at 962-5722, extension 200. Again, you can always email vaccine@yorktownny.org with questions, and our staff will get right back to you as quickly as we can. Again, this is another episode of Chat with Matt. If you ever have any questions about issues regarding the town, any questions that I may be able to answer, please email me at mslater@yorktownny.org, or you can always call me at 962-5722, extension 200. Thanks so much, Yorktown. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll talk to you soon.